I want to go ahead and talk to you today about our Introduction to Special Populations Education class and just what we've learned throughout the course of the semester. Let's go ahead and begin with our gifted and talented section. I want to first go ahead and define that for you. And the definition of a gifted and talented child or youth is one who performs at or shows a potential for performing at a remarkably high level of accomplishment when compared to others of the same age, experience, or environment, and who display one or more of certain gifts or talents. There is a difference between bright students and gifted and talented students. Bright students are usually a joy to teach. They listen well, work hard, and rarely question the teacher. Gifted students, they're students with outstanding talents who perform or show the potential for performing at remarkably high levels of accomplishments compared to others at their age group. There are various strategies that we as educators can utilize in teaching gifted and talented students to challenge their abilities. Learning centers can assist in allowing those who excel in leadership skills to utilize their talent in not only assisting the classmates, but when a student can teach something that they've learned, this assists in mastering that particular subject. Independent study time will also assist those who isolate themselves from other students and learn better in doing so. Incorporating both learning centers and independent study will definitely assist in the student gaining the benefits of both types of strategies. The next topic that I want to go ahead and take a look at is language. There are different characteristics of a student whose second language is English. Students develop cognitive advantages that improve their attention, self-control, and ability to deal with conflicting information. Learning a second language is valuable preparation that enables participation in the global economy. Bilingual people generally perform better on the Erikson flanker test than monolinguals. So how does learning a new language impact learning content? Well, that's simple. Unfortunately, there are not enough schools with programs that support second language learning, and they tend to feel excluded and segregated, leading to more hardships in learning. However, learning a new language is already extremely beneficial, but it can also enhance the student's structure and vocabulary in English as well. Strong evidence shows that time spent on foreign language study strongly reinforces the core subject areas of reading, English language literacy, social studies, and math. That was taken from the NEA research in 2012. So, how do we adapt instruction to help these students learn English and the concepts that we are required to teach them? The best way is to offer appropriate and challenging material that is well designed in instruction and instructional routines. You got to make sure that we offer clear instructions and additional support, practice and periodic review, and also offer informative feedback. This is the only way for them to know if they are doing it correctly. That is our job to, not just tell them when they're doing it incorrectly, but let them know that they're doing it correctly as well. That's just as important. Next topic, gender. First, let's go ahead and compare and contrast how boys learn and how girls learn. Girls have increased communication between the brain's hemispheres. Memory and listening skills are enhanced in girls, and they have reading and writing strengths. Boys learn through experience with spatial mechanical function. They are more physical and use half of the brain space that girls do for verbal emotive function. So they learn best visually and kinesthetically. Now, how do these differences impact their learning? Girls are stronger in reading and writing, as we mentioned earlier, and they can multitask better than boys. Boys generally enjoy physics more than girls do, and since they utilize more abstract strategies, they also enjoy mathematics. So what type of instruction do we adapt to meet the needs of both male and female students? Teaching methods that involve drawing or coming up to the board to work on visual formulas will cater to the style in which boys learn. Group projects and word activities will be beneficial to girls' learning styles. So there's a variety of things that we can utilize and keep in our toolbox that will cater to both male and female students. Moving right along to sexual orientation. How does sexual orientation impact learning? Well, their rejection leads to not only a detachment at home, but at school as well. LGBT youths are at greater risk of academic failure than their heterosexual classmates. They also do not get involved in many school activities, and it has been reported that over 25% of LGBT youths are high school dropouts. So we need to make a difference in our classrooms when teaching students from various sexual orientations. A goal of mine would be to follow the footsteps of a teacher that I read about who takes 10 minutes out of his day to compliment every student. Now, time is going to be of the essence since his setting was a bit different than mine would be as a high school teacher. However, I will greet the students as they walk into my classroom, say goodbye to them as they exit the door as well. I want to give each of them compliments daily, whether it's at the beginning of class, at the end of class, throughout class time. And the purpose of this is to lead by example so that the entire class is accepting of one another and know that we are in class to learn and harassment will not be tolerated. I read somewhere that hate is taught, and when it is, love is forgotten. I want to remind them that love should not require strength to do, but rather it should come naturally. When they are around a setting that constantly displays positivity, they will follow suit. This will provide an equal learning experience that will eliminate unnecessary distractions. The next topic is race and ethnicity. Now, there are many benefits and challenges of racial, ethnic, and other types of cultural diversity. There is no doubt that some may have racial and multicultural issues, which can be a challenge for some. However, diversity in the classroom is extremely beneficial in not only the opportunity to confront those issues, but also in positively affecting the cognitive development, classroom experience satisfaction, and leadership abilities among the students. So, how will we teach students from different races and ethnic groups? I think it is imperative to include diversity in cultures and races in the curriculum as well. Celebrate special days of the calendar of various cultures, special days in history to teach about, and fantastic stories that include a variety of cultures will promote a healthy and diverse classroom atmosphere. I think it's great to have different cultures in one classroom because there's so much to talk about. So I think it is crucial as a teacher to go ahead and celebrate those cultures, and it'll make it interesting in the classroom for everybody to learn about them as well. Thank you so much. This is for Module 1, and this is a recap on what we've learned. We are now entering Module 2 of our Introduction to Special Population series. The first topic I want to get into in Module 2 is child abuse. Now, we need to identify the signs that could indicate possible child abuse. We all know that children receive bumps and bruises just from being kids. However, when they are constantly appearing in the same fashion, or if they do not seem to line up with a child's account, we need to investigate a bit further. Signs are not always visible markings or clear indications of malnourishment. Children can be outgoing and then completely withdraw from friends, family, and schoolmates. So it is up to educators to notice these differences. Now, there are steps that teachers should take when they do suspect child abuse. As educators, we are held accountable for reporting suspected cases of child abuse in good faith and without malice. If we have cause to believe that a child's physical or mental health or welfare has or may be adversely affected by abuse or neglect, we must report it to any state or local law enforcement agency and to the Department of Protective and Regulatory Services. Failure to do so can not only lead to further endangerment of the child, but it is also punishable by imprisonment of up to 180 days and/or a fine of up to $1,000. The next topic that we're going to look at from Module 2 is special education. First, I want to start off by defining special education, and that is specially designed education that is available at no cost to meet the unique needs of a child with a disability. There is a process for identification of special education students, and that process is the pre-referral, referral, identification, eligibility, development and implementation of the IEP, which is the Individual Educational Plan, and evaluations and reviews. There are many legal implications associated with special education, and I want to take a look at a few of them. We need to ensure that we are providing FAPE, which is free and appropriate public education for all students. We also need to make sure that we are following the zero reject protection of the student as well. Parent and child participation is crucial. The IEP that we mentioned earlier, which again is the Individual Educational Plan, is needed to be followed to a T. We also need to provide appropriate evaluation and student placement. That is all for Module 2, and we'll see you for the next module. Now we are going to take a look at learning disabilities. Learning disabilities are various disorders such as dysgraphia, dyslexia, central auditory processing disorder, dyscalculia, and nonverbal learning disabilities that affect a student's ability to learn. There are different characteristics that we can look for to better assist the students that fall into this category. The student may require an unusual amount of help to be successful, or he or she is unexpectedly underachieving at school or in their work. Observing these learning disabilities should immediately trigger a need to cater to these gifts and assist the students through a variety of ways of learning. Keep instructions simple, question for understanding, and work with various memory learning strategies. The student may even benefit from the Gifted and Talented program as well. ADHD. ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder that is defined as a chronic condition that includes attention difficulty, hyperactivity, and impulsiveness. Some characteristics of ADHD include inattention, hyperactivity, impulsivity, and chronic forgetfulness. More characteristics include high social intelligence, exceptional ability and talent, and a very caring demeanor. It is important to note that it is illegal to practice medicine when you are not licensed to do so. So educators should never diagnose students for this reason. It is up to general practitioners, pediatricians, and specialists in that particular field. There are various ways we can adapt instruction to meet the needs of students with ADHD. Try different approaches to various situations. Work with the student and parents and figure out what the best options are, such as GT. Try using other consequences rather than taking much needed recess time away. Now let's go ahead and take a look at mentally challenged. Mentally challenged is characterized by below average intelligence or mental ability and a lack of skills necessary for day-to-day living. Some of the characteristics include difficulty thinking and understanding. Life skills that can be impacted include certain conceptual, social, and practical skills. So, how will we adapt instruction to meet the needs of students who are mentally challenged? Here are some of the ways. If the student responds better to songs, incorporate that into the lessons. Take turns with visual and auditory input. Focus the lesson on their sense of touch. And promote communication through language exercises. Autism. Autism is defined as a bioneurological development disability that generally appears before the age of 3 and impacts the normal development of the brain in the areas of social interaction, communication skills, and cognitive function. Individuals with autism typically have difficulties in verbal and nonverbal communication, social interactions, and leisure or play activities. While some areas may be difficult to comprehend, other areas are enhanced, and because of this, some autistic students can show exceptional talents. So, there are many ways that we can adapt instruction to meet the needs of autistic students as well. And some of those include utilizing visuals such as pictures. Avoid long strings of verbal instruction. Emphasize on developing the child's talent. Incorporate the child's likes into the curriculum, and that will help maintain focus. The next topic will be physical and health impairments. Students with physical disabilities have problems with the structure or the functioning of their bodies, and the federal government through IDEA 04 uses the term other health impairments to describe, collectively, conditions and diseases that create special health care needs or health disabilities for students, Education.com shares. ADHD is considered as a health impairment. Speech and language impairments can be health impairments as well. Physical impairments can be characterized by students who face physical challenges and need considerable assistance from a physical therapist. Now, we can adapt instruction to meet the needs of students who have physical and health impairments as well. And that can start by simply arranging the classroom so that everyone can move around easily, and provide alternatives in the sense of presentations, note-taking, and even lectures. Moving into a subcategory of a physical impairment, visually impaired. The definition of blind is a visual acuity worse than 20/400 with the best possible correction, or a visual field of 10 degrees or less. Children with partial or complete impairment are often developmentally delayed and can struggle with limited opportunities and day-to-day activities. Utilizing technology and computers to assist the child with screen readers, teaching literacy through Braille and/or large print, and teaching social interaction and independent living skills are great ways to adapt instructions to meet their needs. Now let's look at hearing impaired. Deaf is defined as a hearing impairment that is so severe that the child is impaired in processing linguistic information through hearing with or without amplification. Project Ideal Online has reported that students with auditory impairments characteristically experience significant issues with regard to social and intellectual development, speech and language, and educational achievement. There are text-to-speech iPad apps that can assist the student converse in groups or even allow them to give a class presentation, let's say if a sign language interpreter is not available. Utilize PowerPoint presentations to accompany lectures, and enable captions during educational films. We are going to close the presentation with our last topic, socioeconomic status. There are 3 main socioeconomic groups in America. We have the upper class. This is a collection of individuals who have a great deal of income or wealth and makes up a small percentage of America's population. We also have the middle class, About half of the U.S. population makes up the middle class, which consists of those whose income falls in line with the national average, most of which are college graduates. And we have the lower class. This class consists of those with low income and typically have a low education level, work minimum wage jobs, and are not highly skilled. So how can we address the needs of students from low socioeconomic backgrounds? Keep in mind, they lack consistency in their lives, so focus on creating consistency in class, which is their second home. Communicate expectations rather than assume that they are known. Most importantly, create relationships of mutual respect and be aware of the differences in cultures. Students seek guidance and acceptance when they step foot into our schools, so be sure to provide each and every one with love, respect, and understanding. Always remember that every teacher is a stepping stone in their academic journey to success.